sports betting ruining people's finances? And are the wrong people stretching themselves to make sports bets? A new Yahoo study just dropped and the numbers look bad. So Yahoo Finance just dropped a bomb of a study, looked into the whole sports betting industry. They actually found that for every dollar deposited into online sports books, those households reduced their investment allocations by $2. Now, if you're wondering, like, what? How is that even possible? It's because to get from $1 to $2, you have to think about the other stuff they're doing, like the streaming services required to watch all the different sports now. I think there's like 8 to watch all the NFL games, going to bars to watch sports and bet on them. And so it's just expanding their use of discretional income and taking it away from very important stuff like equities and 401ks and just general good finance. They also found that sports bettors tended to overdraw their bank accounts more, which makes you think the people actually placing sports bets irresponsibly, they just don't have the money to do this, and they don't manage finance as well. And so this is impacting really the most vulnerable population when it comes to finance.
People actually are substituting away from some of their equity investments and using that money to place online bets on sports.
Yikes. You just heard it right here. This is so bad and so stupid. You know, I know growing up, I always heard, my grandfather gave me great finance advice. He says the lottery is a tax on the stupid, or the tax on the people that can't do math. Sports betting, I feel a little differently about. I myself have placed sports bets, but, you know, we're talking pizza money here. I'm just having fun, making a game interesting. What I'm worried about is the people that are in a certain income bracket and have a certain number of investments, and they think they're going to make it big on sports bets. It's the same problem casinos have faced all these years, but I'm very, very worried about what this study's showing.
A household that puts money into online betting spends somewhere close to $1,000 a year.
$1,000 a year is no joke. I myself would hesitate to spend $1,000 on sports betting in a year. And if you're making $50,000, this is just irresponsible. If you're making 100, I would say that might be the minimum here, where it's 1% of your income and you're just having fun. The part I have the most problem with is the people that are treating this like an investment. So I'm going to invest $1,000 into sports betting and try to get $5,000 out of it. That's bananas. Very, very irresponsible and scary. I think that $1,000 should be treated as entertainment money, like going out to eat and just doing fun things that you enjoy.
Sports betting is fun and maybe a little bit addictive, and you want to do more of it, and you just don't have a lot of flexibility in your budget. Well, to keep on betting, the money's got to come from somewhere.
Oh, it sure does. You want to know what that somewhere is? Credit cards. And that is horrific. And this is a very scary change in our society, where people are expanding their ability to spend through debt that costs them on average over 20% compounded a year to place bets that will very likely lose.
It's a negative expected value. That is, if they keep betting over time, you expect they're going to lose money.
Oh, yes, they are. And if you don't believe it, take a look at how much money Las Vegas casinos bring in. Take a look at how big DraftKings and FanDuel have become. And just look at all the new entrants in this space like MGM and even Fanatics Sportsbook. They're making billions on this. Not you.
Consequences of this betting spill over to the society at large. If a number of households save less, they're going to be in worse shape as time goes on, which then puts a bigger burden on society to fund things like a social safety net.
Right on. If you don't think this impacts you, well, you're a part of society. And if people are stretching and people are using credit card debt, their finances are worse. Towns, counties, and states will have less tax revenue, and that will spill over into everything. You guys seen Back to the Future 2? Remember Biff Tanner's timeline? I actually think we're headed to some version of that as we start to legalize betting everywhere. Here's a crazy stat for you. For states that have legalized sports betting, the average credit score has fallen by 1%, which is significant. On top of that, bankruptcies, debt consolidation loans, and debt collections have gone up in these states. The people often affected are low-income men, which kind of tracks what you see on social media. And this is just all bad stuff that affects all parts of society. The other thing to think about here is accessibility. I mean, I've probably placed, I don't know, 20 in-person sports bets in my entire life. Then I look at my 9-year-old son and he will probably place 200 just because of how easy it is. Before, you had to fly to Atlantic City, fly to Vegas, or gamble with a local bookie. And that's how you place your sports bets. Now, you have immediate access with a touch of a button faster than you can order something on Amazon. That's going to make this widespread. Now, I don't want to sound like a wet blanket here. I play sports bets and I have fun, but I do it responsibly. What I'm worried about is the people that are doing this that can't afford it or that they think that this is an actual investment. That scares me. And that's a message I hope that they receive, that it's just dumb to behave this way. The future looks even more gnarly. They're predicting that these sports betting apps will turn into augmented reality where you can just point it at TV and get instant odds. Or even worse, they take the tech that Facebook has been using for almost 2 decades to understand you demographically and psychographically, and they really hone in like, oh, he seems to bet on this player a lot. Let's throw him a free bet to try to get him to spend $1,000 on this player. Try to upsell him on different parlays because he seems to be a sucker for these types of parlays. That's coming. So just buyer beware, be smart about your gambling, and make sure you handle the settings in these apps. I'd probably shut the notifications off if you use them. Now, this is normally a sports card channel, but I thought that this was an important subject to cover because a lot of the people that are gambling online on sports are buying sports cards, and even worse, gambling on sports cards, trying to flip them, trying to find a specific player and 10x the value on the card to flip it. It's the same principle here. Whatever you spend on that and whatever you spend on sports cards, it needs to be discretionary income for entertainment purposes. Please don't think of it like an investment. If you got any value out of this, would very humbly appreciate a subscribe. Work hard on this channel to bring you interesting information like this. Hopefully it helps you. Hopefully it helps with your decision making. And maybe you can share it with someone that you think may have a gambling problem. And maybe it helps them kind of understand how their behavior is impacting themselves and others. Now, I want to say this again because I'm going to get some crap in the comments. Sports betting is fun. I actually play sports bets myself. But when I do it, it's $20 here, $100 there, whatever. That's what I feel like is discretionary income to me and sort of entertainment money. I got no problem with this. Go out to the bar with your buddies and bet on sports. That's all good. Make the games fun. Where I do have a problem is if you're putting it on a credit card, or if you're taking away from your 401k or other investment savings, or if you think that sports betting is an investment. Thanks again, everyone. Please subscribe if you can. We actually have a podcast where we drop episodes on Tuesdays and Fridays, all about sports cards and stuff just like this.